So we're back, live. I'm back. Part 2 of the Thomas Take Sports podcast today. I'm Ryan Thomas. Thank you for joining me for another Wednesday episode of the show. Sundays and Wednesdays. Putting the schedule together made things so much easier for yours truly. Truthfully, I got to say that I've noticed the podcast growth much more since there was a schedule, and it's always tough to get a schedule ironed out and to get things right in that regard. But I was happy. I'm very happy to say I was able to do it, willing and able to do it, to take time out of my work schedule and put this work in as I deem it. I take this very seriously. I feel like with the amount of people that listen to the show now, I really want to be a main voice in the community for the Buffalo Bills. It's been a privilege. It's been fantastic to put my opinions out there. And for as many people that agree, there's as many that disagree. It's great. I don't feel as if I did this for those reasons. I didn't do this to have everybody say, oh, wow, you're right. You're so right. I did this for people to get a different perspective from myself, someone that I feel, I've always had interesting opinions, and I look at things a little bit differently than most people. I don't look at things practical. I look at things from a wider lens, and that's what I've tried to bring to this podcast. So I really appreciate all the support that I've had these last 2 years. We're coming up on the 3-year anniversary. January of 2019 will be the 3-year anniversary of the show. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable ride. To meet all the people that I've met, conversated with all the people I've conversated with on the show, that have guest starred on the show, and just people that have even thrown comments on some of the episodes on YouTube or Facebook or whatever it may be. I really appreciate it. So, that being said, the title of the show is going to be a barn burner, Allen versus Peterman or McCarron. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be, Buffalo? Who's it going to be starting week 1 versus the Baltimore Ravens? It's a very tough question, but it's one that I got to answer for you, the fans. We have to look at this from a wide lens, from a unique perspective. I'm going to try to bring as unique a perspective as I can on this issue. The Bills started the preseason with Nate Peterman rolling with the ones against Carolina. How did he do? He did pretty damn well. Then week 2, they pop in A.J. McCarron. A.J. gets hurt due to a Myles Garrett sack. Josh Allen comes out. He looks pretty darn good. Regardless as to whether it's with the 2s, the 1s, when people say that, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't care if these guys are playing first, second, or third. If I see anything positive, I'm going to say it. If I see things negative, I'm going to say it, just like anything else. With any other player in any other sport. You talk about the positive, you talk about the negative. You don't say, well, that happened because he was playing first stringers. Or, well, that happened because he was playing second stringers. Well, that happened because he was playing third stringers. No, that's stupid. I'm sorry, but it just is. We're evaluating the 3 quarterbacks that we have. We evaluate whether they're doing stuff well. We're evaluating whether they don't do stuff well. Certain things, dynamics in their game. And pull up the stat sheet. The stat sheet, the numbers say that Nate Peterman has had the best preseason, and he definitely has. I'd say of all the preseason games that we have seen so far, Nate started against Carolina, played with the first team, played pretty well. Nate played the third string against the Browns and made third stringers look like first stringers. That's how I look at things. I look at it as, well, Nate played very well against the Browns' third stringers, but he also helped the third stringers on Buffalo look better. Isn't that what a quarterback's supposed to do? A quarterback is supposed to elevate the play of others around him. I thought that's what that meant. The truly elite guys like Peyton Manning, there were some years where he didn't have the best wide receivers. There's been a ton of years where Tom Brady hasn't had the best wide receivers. He didn't always have Gronk, He didn't always have Randy Moss. He didn't always have Julian Edelman. He didn't always have big-name players. Now, reality has changed that maybe Brady has made those players better, which he has. That's the answer to all of that. Was it Manning that made those players better? Yes, it was. It was. That's why those guys are both going to be in Canton one day. They throw Josh Allen out there week 3 against Cincinnati. He earned the opportunity. He earned the right to start week 3 in that preseason game at home. He earned that opportunity, and he got it. And we knew that there were questions about this offensive line. We knew that there were. We knew that this line had question marks. We knew that we lost 3 valuable pieces on this offensive line. And what I mean by that, number 70, number 64, and number 77. Eric Wood, Richie Incognito, and Cordy Glenn. Not many people view Cordy Glenn as a loss because he didn't really play much, because he was always hurt. Oddly enough, he got hurt in the preseason game. But he was a starting left tackle. And now they've moved to left tackle a player that was originally drafted as a right tackle. Go back, roll the film. Deion Dawkins was originally drafted to be the right tackle of the Buffalo Bills. Cordy Glenn got hurt. That moved him right over. They thought about moving Dawkins to guard when Glenn was healthy. That didn't happen. Cordy Glenn not being healthy, knowing that they needed to go out and get a quarterback. They trade Cordy Glenn to a team that needs them. They get a pick that they needed, and they go and get their quarterback in Josh Allen. But with an addition, you create a subtraction. Because lo and behold, in that one move, they had less depth on their offensive line. But they knew that they had real massive areas to address in Josh Allen and Tremaine Edmonds and Harrison Phillips. I do not second guess their draft strategy whatsoever. Thought they made great picks. Thought it was one of the best drafts they've ever had, in my lifetime at least. But you cannot put Josh Allen out there with that offensive line and expect him to produce. A rookie that has all the talent in the world, and I will go to bat for that dude for as long as he's here. I will be in full support of him because he's done everything right. He's checked off every box that I could possibly want him to check off, which is great. He's checked off every single box. And the best part of it is he's a player that really has the utmost respect for the organization. He's a classy guy, and he does things the right way. He prepares the right way. He talks the right way. He answers questions the right way. He always does things the right way. And something needs to be said for that. I said this early in the offseason, but I don't think A.J. McCarron has a chance to really be a formidable starter in this league. I think if he had that shot, he would have proven it already. And in 4 years under Cincinnati, in Cincinnati, he never really proved that. So I have a tough time convincing myself that he's a starting quarterback because of that. He had a great college career, 100%, but is he a starter? I don't think so. So I'm taking A.J. McCarron right off my list. I'm not even considering him in the discussion. I'm considering Josh Allen and Nate Peterman, 2 quarterbacks that I think will be a part of this franchise for quite a while. And in both cases, I like both players. I think both guys are great. One dynamic of this game that we just witnessed preseason-wise was that Nate Peterman got the ball out of his hands quicker, fired the football out of his right hand faster, understands that the offensive line is not where it needs to be, and was not looking to go over the top for the big deep ball, which I think is a major part of Josh Allen's game. What Josh Allen needs to open himself up to get his confidence going is to make the plays that he knows he can make, and those plays with this offensive line, I highly doubt they could be consistently made. With Nate Peterman, you're going to get a true West Coast quarterback. You're going to get a true 5-step, 3-step drop, get the ball out of his hand quick, maybe 7-step drop just to, drop back deeper and evade pressure. But usually a quick 3-step drop, slants, accurate passes, ball out of his hand quick, running back in the flat. That's what you're going to get with Nate Peterman. And that's what the Buffalo Bills offense is actually catered to. You have a lot of guys that can run great short routes. You have Jeremy Curley. You have Zay Jones. You have Charles Clay. You have LaShawn McCoy. All of those guys can run the short routes. Then you can burn them over the top with KB. Everybody knows that can be done with KB. So I think we will see Josh Allen start. We will see Nate Peterman start this year. But if you were to ask me, who's it going to be week 1 starting against the Baltimore Ravens? Have a nasty front seven, as they always have, for whatever reason. We know some of the reasons, obviously. Ray Lewis, Terrell Suggs, Haloti Ngata in his prime, but I'm referring to just the fact that it always seems like they have a decent front seven. They always seem like they can pressure the quarterback. And I think because of that, I want to see Nate start the season. But that does not mean that Josh Allen is a bust. For anyone that's saying that, it's really unfair. That's my quarterback. So, that being said, I think Nate will get the start week 1. I think he's earned the opportunity. I think he's spit in the faces of the people that consistently threw literal SHIT on him after that Los Angeles or San Diego or whatever the hell they want to call themselves Chargers. When Nate had to face the music after that snowball effect game where he threw 5 interceptions, where I have said this, he only threw 3. How many players throw 3 interceptions? Quite a lot. Only threw 3. He gets all this hate, all this toxic reaction to it, and turn it into a positive. The guy looks great. So good for Nate. He deserves the opportunity for week 1. We'll see what happens after that. I'm Ryan Thomas. It was the Thomas Take Sports Podcast, Sundays and Wednesdays on YouTube and Facebook. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, as well as like the Facebook page. And while you're at it, follow me on Twitter at Thomas Takeover. Take care, everybody.